We're back, but now we're Nova Fleet.
Yes, because things with Nova Squadron turned out great. That kind of seems in poor taste, though, doesn't it? Hello, Internet, I'm Ren, and today I want to talk about the Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4 finale, Old Friends, New Planets. We're just going to go straight into the spoilers because I love this episode and I have a lot to say about it. Although it's not quite as strong as the inner fight, it's still a very satisfying and exciting conclusion with a whole lot going for it. So let's get into it. The episode opens at Starfleet Academy 13 years ago with Nova Squadron, before they attempted the Colvard Starburst.
Pulling it off would make us legends.
You're already a legend.
Not after we graduate. Out there we'll be nobodies. Wes knows. He's lived it.
I wasn't a nobody. I don't know about this whole Starburst thing.
And we get a nerdy, excited baby cadet Mariner telling Ceto about her new classes.
Hey, Ceto!
Uh-oh, Jaxa, your fan club spotted us.
Ceto! Okay, I just got out of my first Xeno history seminar. That is hard to say, Xeno history.
It's so cute, but also a little heartbreaking seeing her so bright-eyed and optimistic knowing that she's going to lose that.
Oh, we're gonna learn about the preservers, the Xindi. Do you know about them already? They're so cool. Well, I think they are. We're gonna learn about them.
You sound just like me when I was a first year.
Back in the present, Locarno claims he beamed Mariner aboard to save her from the crews on the planet.
Oh, I saved you from those Romulans and Klingons. Beamed you right up here to the Nova 1.
But he's very excited to have her aboard.
I didn't need saving.
I can't even tell you how lucky I am. You're exactly who I need right now.
And to tell her that Nova Squadron is back. Only now,
we're Nova Fleet.
Nova what?
On the Cerritos, Captain Freeman is conferring with the admirals about a rescue mission, but Admiral Vassery tells her to stand down while Starfleet talks it out to prevent any risk of war. Neither she nor Admiral Freeman seem to be too happy about this.
Unfortunately, there's no moving fast in a situation like this.
What situation?
Locarno has coordinated mutinies on ships from over a dozen non-Federation planets. We can't be the first to open fire.
Back on the NF Scroll Mouse, Mariner tries to get on Locarno's good side.
A nice ship, very white and nothing else.
Thanks, I designed it myself. None of the Starfleet carpets or wood paneling in here.
Also, I love the carpets and the paneling. How dare? The hotel conference room era of Trek will not be slandered. She also greets the Binars.
What up, Binars?
Which kind of felt like a cute little callback to this bit.
Oh, I'm always dating bad boys, bad girls, bad gender non-binary babes, ruthless alien masterminds, bad Binars.
Captain Locarno sends out a broadcast on all subspace channels.
Mariner!
Hello, Alpha Quadrant. Independent Captain Nick Locarno here with a message for anyone who feels like an afterthought.
And this line made me laugh out loud.
He looks like Tom Paris.
I don't see it.
Locarno encourages all the misfits and lower deckers in the Alpha Quadrant to join.
The first totally independent, unaligned fleet in the Alpha Quadrant.
And this line also made me chuckle.
The Maquis would like a word.
Rutherford and Boimler keep arguing about Paris and Locarno's resemblance.
The same face. They're identical.
No, I just don't see it.
I know it's low-hanging fruit, but I laughed both times. Locarno has a black market Genesis device as leverage. The same one we saw on the Ferengi ship a couple episodes ago in some really solid continuity and payoff. Locarno tries to get Mariner to speak out in support of him.
I have an officer here who knows how to speak truth to power. Beckett, care to tell them what Starfleet's really like?
But she Mariners it hard instead.
I have an important message for all you lower deckers out there. This guy sucks!
What?
He's an idiot and his plan is stupid. He's gonna get you all killed because he only cares about himself!
And then steals the Genesis device and makes a run for it. We stan a queen. I love Captain Freeman's reaction.
Atta girl.
I wish Mariner could have heard it. The captain asks the crew of the Cerritos if they will help her defy Starfleet's orders and rescue Mariner.
Crew, this is the captain. I am about to disobey a direct order and stage a rescue of Lieutenant Junior Grade Mariner. Now, I can't ask any of you to join me. If we survive, the court-martial is guaranteed.
Everyone on the bridge is with her.
I'm with you, Captain. We all are.
The only response in this situation is Cerritos strong.
Especially Shax. Let me at him! And the rest of the crew is on board as well.
All departments checking in. Everyone wants to help.
Mariner is on the run through Locarno's wacky little ship, but she gets to a hangar and uses Captain Freeman's command code to take control of a stolen Starfleet vessel.
Peter, command code override, 06107.2.
Welcome, Captain Carol Freeman.
Yes! Knew that would come in handy.
And gets on out of there. But Locarno and his goons are in hot pursuit.
Romulans are famously forgiving, right?
We have to stop her!
Side note, I love that she has her mom's command codes memorized. That is so on brand for her. Although, admittedly, the fact that they say them out loud all the time is pretty bad security, actually. Tendi and the captain lead an away team to Orion to ask Tendi's sister Erica, who seems to have ascended as Prime, to loan them a warship.
We're here against orders. Helping us will make them look weak. We need a ship with enough firepower to punch a hole. We'll just be borrowing it, really. We'll give it right back.
Erica
can't collude with the Federation right now,
unfortunately, so Tendi demands barter by combat instead.
I demand barter by combat!
I love how much Lower Decks has managed to expand Orion canon within Trek, especially this season. It's so much fun. Tendi and Erica have to select warriors for battle. Erica chooses a giant Orion lady. Can she please pick me up and, Gaston me? And for the Cerritos champion, Tendi chooses Miglimo.
Miglimo.
What? Who is not thrilled. I would have put my money on Shax. I mean, look at him. Mariner is pinned against the Trinar shield with Locarno's goons in hot pursuit.
My Trinar shield works both ways. It keeps ships out and in.
He tries to convince her to give herself up, but she's not having it.
Oh, thanks.
I'm offering you the chance of a lifetime. You could be part...
Nope.
She looks for somewhere to hide among some dangerous and unpredictable space debris. It's a pretty exciting scene with some fancy flying. One of the guys pursuing her totally crashes and explodes. Mariner tries to talk the Ferengi out of working for Locarno using the rules of acquisition.
What about Rule of Acquisition 91? Your boss is only worth what he pays you?
Like mother, like daughter.
And you're forgetting Rule 289. Shoot first.
They aren't swayed, though, so she disables their sensors and hunkers down. Back on Orion, Miglimo is in the ring against Baeth, the giant Orion. This line from Boimler got a chuckle from me.
I'm gonna have to start over with a new therapist, aren't I?
Baeth is allergic to Miglimo's down.
Fluff your down!
It's embarrassing!
Just fluff it!
And passes out when he fluffs up his feathers.
Touch my flappity fisticuffs, you foul fiend!
But she falls and lands on top of him, so she still wins. Captain Freeman prepares to hand over the Cerritos.
Wait! I have something you want more than the Cerritos.
I'm a pirate queen, sister. What would I want more than a ship?
Me.
But Tendi agrees that she will come back to Orion if Erica lends her a battleship and doesn't take the Cerritos. Rutherford is visibly upsetty at the prospect. Mariner searches for an uninhabited planet to dump the Genesis device on. She finds one nearby and heads out, but she isn't alone. The Cerritos arrives at the Orion warship.
Oh, look at the size of that thing.
Captain, we have a problem.
And they find they've been had.
Phillips, report!
This thing's a relic. Half the systems are fried. It could take months to get it battle ready.
It isn't operable. The engineering team works on getting the ship going, but Livick and Rutherford are at each other's throats.
Who cares about the conduits, Livick? We should focus on firepower and engines.
You can't just activate some systems. They're dependent.
They don't have to be.
Kalin intervenes.
We need to get on the same page.
I believe I can facilitate that.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Are you gonna do a mind meld?
And Rutherford and Livick Mark Twain it out on the holodeck.
And you are a heaping helping of country fried intellect, my genteel friend.
I do declare, we've settled upon a compromise.
I love it so much. It is so cute and silly. The Romulans fire on Mariner. She tries to sow a little more dissent.
Never thought I'd see Romulans taking orders from a human.
We do not take orders. Locarno's given us the freedom to scheme at our leisure.
Unfortunately, she's surrounded. And they're not buying what she's selling. So she flees into the ion storm. Locarno tries to send the Romulans in after her, but no one wants to go in there.
Get in there and get that device!
I'm sorry, are you giving me an order?
I thought we were a coalition of equals.
So he pursues her himself. I really like that scene. It has kind of an ominous vibe. And she takes the opportunity to prod at him a bit.
Nick, I know why you hate Starfleet, and it isn't because you have some deep connection with junior officers. You're pissed because you got booted from the academy.
Locarno tries to insist that he and Mariner are the same.
I've read your file. I hate command structure, just like you.
No, I don't always agree with orders, sure, but I believe in the mission.
But she knows better. Then he tries to use Sito's death to legitimize his disillusionment with Starfleet, but she is not having it.
What about Sito? She died for no reason.
She gave her life for what she believed in. You can't take that from her.
She tells him that he's the one putting people in danger.
I didn't take a single shot at your fleet, but you put them in danger.
And reminds him of Josh, the cadet that was killed by his risky maneuver.
And what about Josh?
That wasn't my fault! If my stupid professors had just let us practice!
But Locarno refuses to take any accountability. And the Ferengi interrupt and warn him about the incoming Orion battlecruiser.
Locarno, something just appeared outside the system.
Captain Freeman and the main bridge crew are all on the rescue mission, leaving Boimler in command of the Cerritos.
One shot! Are you ready, acting captain?
I've got this, but I want you back to take command when you're done.
You and me both.
I love this for him, and someone in the comments correctly predicted this as an arc for him. Tendi compliments his captain voice.
Really good captain voice.
Thank you.
Adorable. He really seems to be in his element.
Cerritos, I ordered you to... Hey, who the hell are you?
Acting Captain Bradward Boimler, sir.
Our little lad has come so far. Admiral Vassery tells Boimler to turn the ship around.
Turn that ship around right now!
And he says he will, after they rescue Mariner.
Yes, sir. But first I have to rescue my friend.
It's so good.
You can't get through that shield!
I'm not. Captain Freeman is.
What?
The Cerritos tows the Orion cruiser with its tractor beam and launches it at the shield like a battering ram.
Maximum impulse. The captain's counting on us. Wait for it. Now!
And it punches a hole that Captain Freeman and the bridge crew fly through in a shuttle. The fleet is pissed at Locarno.
You said the shield was impenetrable.
I didn't know they were going to throw a battleship at it.
This is a disaster! We have to get out of here!
And abandons him. He fires on Mariner's ship and damages one of the nacelles and boards it. Mariner activates the Genesis device and tells Locarno that they need to leave.
It's too late, Nick. I started the countdown, all right? We have to clear out of here.
But he's not listening.
Oh, please. I graduated top of my class. You think I don't know how to disarm a bomb?
First off, you didn't graduate.
She still tries to talk him down.
I could have been the best pilot in Starfleet.
Don't let that anger define your life.
But then he tries to shoot her.
You stunned all those crews. You didn't kill them because deep down, you're not a murderer.
I'm sorry, but I really am.
Right as she's transported aboard the shuttle, where she's reunited with Captain Freeman.
How did you get through the shield?
We threw a battleship at it.
I love this bit. The way their relationship has evolved is so wonderful. Mariner still wants to save Locarno.
Get us out of here.
No, we have to save Locarno.
But he refuses to come with them.
He's reactivated the shields. I can't get a lock.
Nick, please, come with us.
And keeps trying to defuse the bomb instead, so they leave him to it.
Next time, set a shorter timer.
And he gets punked by a Ferengi paywall.
To deactivate detonation, please insert 2 bars of platinum.
They put a paywall on a bomb?
And explodes. A hilarious and tragic end for Locarno, but ooh, pretty. Also, I totally missed the starburst on his uniform last week, but I definitely caught it here. With everyone safely back aboard the Cerritos, Captain Freeman is being chewed out by Vassery.
Sir.
I should have you charged with insubordination, but you managed to open diplomatic relations with the Orions for the first time.
But since she managed to do some diplomacy with the Orions, she's off the hook. The mutinous crews are apparently all in hiding, fearing retribution from their captains.
And if I may ask, what happened to the alien officers who allied with Locarno?
I imagine they're in hiding.
The Genesis device has created a new M-class planet the Federation is calling Locarno.
Oh, now we have to deal with the new M-class planet that formed when the Genesis device exploded.
Is it stable?
Seems so. We're calling it Locarno.
They plan to use it as a home for refugees. Everyone's happy Mariner's back. She apologizes for how she's been acting.
I've been kind of all over the place the past few months. I was processing some heavy stuff and taking it out on everyone else. I'm sorry.
And Tendi doesn't accept her apology.
Apology not accepted, because we're here for you no matter what.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Rutherford and Livick are back to hating each other.
Wait, I thought you guys liked each other now.
No. Only when we're twaining.
Boimler is thrilled with his captaining exploits.
Oh, do I sound captainy to you? Because Ransom was very happy with my captaining.
And T'Lyn receives a message from Captain Sokol, which she ignores because she wants to focus on
becoming your science bestie.
Don't you say that if you don't mean it!
Yes, I did squee out loud at this, if you're wondering. My heart! Everything's great, but Boimler's gotta jinx it.
This is the best. Everything's working out. Ooh, this is when we chant Lower Decks.
The gang is happily chanting,
Okay, fine.
Lower Decks! Lower Decks!
when Captain Freeman delivers the news that the Orions are here to take Tendi.
Lieutenant, you've been requested to return to Orion.
Look at poor Rutherford. The gang goes with Tendi to the transporter to see her off.
I mean, who's gonna help me with the plasma conduits?
Keep them clear of any buildup while I'm gone.
Rutherford's having a hard time, and then she's gone. The remaining gang is sure she'll be back, but Rutherford is still so sad. I just want to hug him. We close out the episode with Tendi aboard the Orion ship, and a bit of sinister music playing as she prepares to become the mistress of the winter constellations once more.
You've got this.
And I can't believe we'll have to wait for season 5 to see what happens. I'm glad it sounds like the studios are going to finally pay the actors some semblance of what they're worth so we don't have to wait even longer because... No! I can't believe I'm stuck on 2 different Star Trek cliffhangers at the same time. This shouldn't be allowed. Tendi returning to Orion isn't something I'd have called in a million years, and I'm so interested to see where they go with that and how the gang's dynamic adjusts while she's gone. Rutherford without Tendi is going to be strange to see, and I'm curious how it'll change their relationship when she inevitably comes back to Starfleet. I wonder if she'll come back on her own or if Rutherford is going to go and get her because he is clearly not okay. Overall, I love this episode, and I think it's a fantastic finale and a perfect culmination of the season. It had a good mix of fun, action, and heart, and had some genuinely exciting scenes and surprising revelations. I was half wondering if they were going to try to bring Sito back, because apparently the TNG writers left that door open on purpose, and even initially planned to bring her back in Deep Space Nine. But I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route here. As much as I would love for Sito to be alive, I think a live-action series would make more sense to bring her back in, because her story was so serious. Although, on the other hand, even the reference made to her in the inner fight was incredibly impactful, so maybe Lower Decks could pull it off. I think it's great that Locarno tried to create an independent fleet of disgruntled lower deckers from various ships. And if you go back and watch the previous episodes, the intros to the crews did always start in the lower decks, and they were usually grousing about their captains. It was well set up even though none of us theorized correctly what was going on. It's also so much fun to have Robert Duncan McNeil back on lower decks, this time as Locarno. I am miffed we didn't get a Locarno versus Paris showdown, but that also would have been a bit silly and distracting, so I see why they didn't go that route. We also get a cameo from both Will Wheaton and Shannon Phil, reprising their roles as Sito Jaxa and Wesley Crusher.
Starburst thing. Josh, are you sure?
Other people are allowed to talk every once in a while, Nick.
Which is honestly really lovely of them, considering both have mostly retired from acting. It made me so happy. I have some mixed feelings about how Locarno's story unfolded, because I think it slightly undercuts the somewhat noble ending he got in The First Duty, where he did take responsibility for Josh's death to protect the other cadets from the consequences when the truth came out.
They should have expelled all of us.
They very nearly did. Mr. Locarno made an impassioned plea for the rest of you. He said that he'd used his influence as squadron leader to convince you to attempt the Callwood maneuver.
Mariner alluded to Locarno's good side, but I don't think we saw enough of it to really make that element work for me in the larger context of Trek overall, even though I thought he was great in the context of the episode. However, I loved how Mariner's arc resolved in these 2 episodes. Her self-destructiveness was built up over the course of the previous 3 seasons, but this season took it a lot further with recklessness that reminded me of the Voyager episode Extreme Risk, in which B'Elanna does increasingly dangerous stuff on the holodeck with the safety off while trying to process the deaths of her Maquis friends as a result of the Dominion War. Mariner had a similar means of coping with her survivor's guilt and trauma from both losing Sito and from what she saw in the Dominion War by doing increasingly risky things on missions. Apparently some fans didn't like the retcon that connects Mariner and Sito, but I think it works perfectly as a motivator and explanation for her character and the choices she makes. In this episode, I like how her talk with Ma'a seems to have helped her come to terms with it to the point where she can start to cope in more healthy ways. I think this season was one of Lower Deck's strongest, and ultimately is actually one of the best representations of the ebbs and flows of dealing with complex trauma in Trek canon, because it didn't just pop up in one episode and get resolved. We've seen this impacting Mariner for years.
Don't feel bad that you don't know much about my life. I keep it vague on purpose.
Why?
Every time I open up, people get promoted and take off. It's better to just keep it surface level and never have friends instead of always losing them.
Until it finally escalated due to triggering circumstances in her life. Feeling triggered by promotions also neatly explains why she served on so many ships, and why she keeps yo-yoing between being promoted and falling back to ensign. I think the relationship between her trauma and being promoted actually comes from a couple different places. Sure, there's the fear she expressed about sending her friends off to die, but I think there's also a feeling that she's leaving Sito behind by achieving a rank that Sito never did. Because in TNG's Lower Decks, Sito was up for a promotion and was competing with her friend Lavelle for it when she died.
I just got promoted.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Just doesn't feel right. For all I know, she was gonna get the promotion instead of me.
Which would explain why that specific association is so intense for Mariner. Seeing Mariner's friends and family support her and try to keep her safe throughout the season was really touching. The friendships among the crew have always been one of my favorite things about Star Trek, but Lower Decks really does take it to a whole new level. They also have so much character growth that you almost forget it's a cartoon. I could say so much more about this episode, and maybe I will in another video. But for now, that's just my opinion. Did you like the Nova Fleet reveal? What predictions do you have for next season? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, definitely suggest some other movies and shows for me to review while we wait for more Star Trek, because I need to fill the void. I'll also be getting back to work on my Trek Was Always Political series, and a review for The Fall of the House of Usher should be out this weekend, so don't worry, you'll still see plenty of me. But anyways, like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Wiedersehen.